Shalom Israel. I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect. And as you see, as I hear on the screen, it's this video I was watching earlier this morning. And it says it goes into there was a lady basically she was interviewing Akon on his success and his music career and things of his life and that nature. All right, and which this is a pretty old video, man. But the title caught me. It says Akon, America was never built for black people. So in one instance, just the title alone, because a title tells a lot. So just the title alone, like I said, it caught my interest. And what the title tells a lot. It tells of how the thinking of Akon, because he's right, man. America was never built for black people. All right, and because he's from Africa. All right, which he's an Israelite too, because you still have a lot of Israelites that still dwell within Africa. All right, because contrary to popular belief, all right, those of West Africa, which some of them they know and understand that they're Israelites, man. You have some of them that would even come past the camp, man. You have some of them that's even in certain GMS camps, man. The brethren from West Africa, man. All right, in certain northern and southern parts of Africa. But he's basically explaining how different it is in Africa, man, and how America pushes that Africa is just the worst place on earth, man. But he just explaining to the lady how beautiful it is. Like I was saying, he was talking about basically how he uses his money, the money that he makes, from his businesses, the money that he makes from music, and he'll use it to help, fund humanitarian aid for the Africans over there, man. But being at which I seen it through the spirit, man. The reporter, she looked like a Judite chick. She might have had like a British accent or something. She was asking questions to basically stain Akon's name, man. Because here it is. She's asking him, about his career, how successful he is. And then on another front, she's trying to get him to, she's basically bringing up like the so-called bad things, man. Of how in his music videos, he's talking bad about women and, trying to, asking about his past life. What about what he's doing now, man? But that's what I seen of, what I took from this interview, all in all, is that Esau really, his main focus, all right, his main focus is to keep a bad name on our people, man. His main focus is to keep a bad name on our people, all right? And no matter how much, good this man has done, for his people, all right, she still has to bring up the so-called bad stuff he's done, man. Like, how's that relevant, man? And she tried to, and, hey, man, he's a smart dude, man. He kept his cool. He answered everything, what's the word? Educationally, if that's a word. All right, he answered it with wisdom, man. He even admitted that in his past life, well, not in his past life, Salakia, in his earlier days, he was, doing a lot of foolishness, man. But, hey, man, it doesn't matter because, like I say, he cleaned himself up. He's a businessman. He's actually helping out his people. Hey, but that's what this place wants you to believe, okay? And like I said, I pointed out that this video actually came out, as you see, January 24th, 2015. I think they interviewed him actually in 2014. But even until this day in 2019, what you have the R. Kelly incident going on. You have all these incidents with a so-called African American music artist is basically looked down upon as a rapist and stuff like that. You know, when in fact more Edomites, all right, are doing the same so-called crimes and not getting publicized, man. Okay, so this is let me see how I want to start. I got a few precepts I want to get into. This is Nahum 3:1. It says, "Woe to the bloody city! It is full of lies and robberies. The prey departeth not." Because no matter how many riches you get, how much riches you get, you're still under the neck of your enemies, man. And that's prophesied in the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. All right, so it says, "Woe to the bloody city," which physically it is bloody. All right, because when you go into the excerpts of different freers that wrote about Christopher Columbus, all right, and then you have different it's many books and stuff out there about the so-called explorers that founded the so-called New World, man. And the heinous, all the wickedness they did, all the bloodshed they've killed, man. All the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians they killed, man. All right, but it's twofold, man, because this place is a bloody city because it stains our name, man. If you think of a black person, you know what I'm saying, or so-called black person, which that's an insult in itself, man, because black means void of light, negative. All right, what you'll wear black, all right, at something sad like a funeral, man, but you'll wear white at something glorious like a wedding, man. And Esau knows that, man. It's all mind control. But it says, "Woe to the bloody city." All right. So, like I said, this city is bloody because it stains the names of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. When really you're the ones who built this place. And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, this is the week to where, Apostle Tahar, he just did a video yesterday of how we got to go more into the icons, man. All right. Because that proves, all right, that we are somebody, man. I was reading that book with Lord Willing. I'm gonna get a lesson in later. It's called I got it right here. See, it's called Nature Knows No Color Line by J.A. Rogers, I think. By J.A. Rogers, man. And it even shows how you had jigs ruling in Europe up until the early 1600s, man. It speaks about the Tsars in northern Russia, which are dark-skinned men, man. But this is not that's not something that Esau would be willing to push because it'll go against his narrative, man. All right. So it says, "Woe to the bloody city! It is full of lies and robberies. The prey departeth not." Okay. And the same way Esau looked at us, all right, in the 15 centuries, in the 15th century, when he took our people down, all right, this is the same way he looks at us today, man. All right, we're ruled by the same legislations. There was something that came out in on Netflix, brethren talking about it, maybe about 2 years ago, going into the 13th colony, man. I'm at the 13th commandment. I said commandments, lock it. The 13th amendment, which basically paints all you jakes as felons, man. As felons, man. Which a felon is nothing more than a modern day slave. Okay. It says the noise of a whip and the noise of the rattling of the wheels and of the prancing horses and of the jumping chariots, because that's where our people is, man, in this place, man. We looked at nothing as more than just entertainers or really just good slaves, man. When I'll be around the Edomites on my job, all right, and they'll talk about another Jake, the first thing they'll say, well, yeah, he's cool, he's a good worker, as if, what I'm saying, that's the only characteristic you can say about this person, man. This is you get another one. This is Micah chapter. Micah chapter 2 and verse 10. It says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction." And even in this video, man, he was saying how, which he was going off because our people are from Israel, all right? But, the concept of this world is that we all originated from Africa, all right? So he was saying how, our people, he believes that the so-called African Americans in the United States should go back to Africa because they'll be treated better, man. Because they'll be treated better, man. Because here is all about here is basically about a black and white thing, man. That's why a lot of people can't get this truth, man, because they think it's a black and white thing. No, it's an Israelite thing. All right, and hey, I encourage brothers, to read this book, man. It's called "Nature Knows No Color Line," and it basically goes into the color barrier. All right, in the ancient world, in the antiquities, man. It goes into how they view blacks in I believe in Europe and Greece. All right, like I said before, Russia. Let me see. It says this is the table of contents. It says Negroes as Moors, aristocratic European families. Some more. It says Negro ancestry in the French, Negro ancestry in the Anglo-Saxons, Negro ancestry in white America, Negro in ancient Europe and Greece. And in this book it calls us Ethiopians, man. But if you read it through the spirit, it's talking about Jake, because it speaks of how calmly we were, man. In the ancient in these ancient civilizations. All right. Hey, man. So this place gotta fall, man. That's another reason. Yet another reason. All right. While we should be hoping Yahweh Shem Yahushua come back and destroy this place. Okay. Get another precept. Okay. This is let's see. Figure out what else. Psalms chapter. Let's see. '55 in verse 20, it says, "He hath put forth his hands against such that be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter." Because if you check it out, a lot of these interviews, which in this interview, yes, in the beginning, it speaks about the accomplishments and the like I say, it goes over the accomplishments and the good of Akon, man. But then she quickly, like I said, out of nowhere, which it had nothing to do with this interview. All right. And she, she had to basically boast, or she basically had to push out, "Oh, well, you did talk bad about women," or what else she say? That's all I could remember her saying. All right. But it says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, which, hey, man, this is how everybody, like I said, this is how a lot of these interviews normally go, man. They normally go with accolades in the beginning, all right, and then quickly into ridiculing, man, all right, which is subtle, but that's Esau's. That's how we know who Esau Edom is, man, and that's how we know who that our people is under his spell, man. But war was in his heart; his words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords. So, hey, man, that's what scripture say, man. The thief cometh not but to steal, to kill, and to destroy. All right. The thief cometh not to steal, to kill, and to destroy, man. So this place is under Esau's, the so-called white man's influence, all right, which is the red Hebrew Edomite, all right, and therefore this is why people, or really this is why the world looks at us as such, man. All right, and a lot of our people look at their own people, look down upon their own people, all right, or so-called successful black men the same way, man. Let me see. It says Job chapter 21. Hey man, because this place, you know, when you read a lot of the really all the Bible, you know, the prophets of the Lord, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, they were pissed off about what was going on, man. Why is the wicked continue to prosper, man? When he constantly, you know, goes against the Lord, constantly goes against his word, man. You know? All right? And that's how, hey man, Esau broke the brotherly covenant, man, because we were brothers. All right? But now Esau is our enemy, man. All right? So this is Job. Trying to see. I saw another precept I wanted to get. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is a good one. Job 20 and 11. His bones are full of the sins of his youth. You know? Because from Cain, all right? From Cain, the story of Cain and Abel, which we know Cain was Esau, all right, through the spirit, and Abel was Jacob, man. You know, here it is. Abel was more righteous than his brother, all right? And he didn't like that, man. And that's the same as Jacob and Esau, man. Jacob was more righteous than his brother, all right? And therefore, what, he's seen the covenant, or he's seen the covenant as something spiritual, man. But Esau said, what he said, what how does this basically profit? How could this profit me? You know, so he didn't see it as much, man. All right. So Esau is basically this, and in both instances, all right. And well, Cain actually did slay Abel, and Esau slay Jacob. That's what it is today, man. So it says his bones are full of the sins of his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust. All right. So Esau never changed, man. Which is why Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai got to come back and make things right. Though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongue, though he spare it and forsake it not, but keep it still within his mouth, yet his meat in his bowels is turned. It is the gall of asp within him, you know. And when you read back in that Nahum 3, the Most High said, because, you know, since you know, makes me think of Nahum 3, man, which says, woe unto the bloody city, for it is full of lies and robberies. Therefore, the Most High is going to cast judgment upon that bloody city, man. So this was the Job, because like I said, all the prophets said the same thing, man. They were all speaking in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, it says, yet his meat in his bowels is turned. It is the gall of asp within him. He hath swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. God shall cast them out of his belly. He shall suck the poison of asps, and a viper's tongue shall slay him. All right, you know. He shall not see the rivers, the floods, the brooks of honey and butter. That which he laboreth for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. Okay, so the Lord is for us, man. We just did a video this past weekend about reparations, man. All right, this is the real reparations, man. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein, because he have oppressed and have forsaken the poor, because he have violently taken away an house which he buildeth not. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly, he shall not save of that which is desired. You know, and because of Esau's wickedness, all right, that's going to be his downfall. All right, hey, so with that, Lord willing, you I can edify, and shalom to the elect.